Hello, hello, hello. Pause. Hello? Hello? Do you hear me? Okay, okay. Nice. Alright, so I will continue. Hopefully I can finally unlock dailies. Nope. Okay. I also brought the mic closer.
Move carefully.
Let me also just check my other settings. Think.
Don't hesitate.
I'm like, I don't hear Honkai. Okay, it's just low. Okay, cool. I'm like, am I deaf? I am deaf. Okay, okay.
Let's make it quick.
Is it too loud now? It's not. Right? It is low. Okay. Let's make this 7. Is that better? Oh my god, wait. Wait, my hook. Okay, wait. I outed the wrong person. Wait, do you
Move
hear
carefully.
the sound or?
Let's go.
Oh, welcome back a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Rules are made to be
I am
broken.
definitely not gonna die again.
You could still surrender! Here I come! Follow hook if you wanna win!
Too late to repent.
Okay. Break this.
The truth
guy.
of life and death. The sanctuary is but a vision. Break!
You could still surrender!
Fighting is meaningless.
Let's make it quick. Yeah.
Time for mischief!
Okay. No mistakes. Enhance 1 light cone to level 10. You can also. I will not salvage. Okay, this is erudition. Both of these are erudition. What team makes sense? This is like the defense. Oh, dude, Destruction Trailblazer is such a meme though. Herda. No, so I pretty much left off from last time when I was just finishing this up. So I haven't even unlocked dailies yet.
Noise.
Okay, let me
Here
figure out
already?
a team later.
I
I was just engaging in pleasantries. How can I help?
Where's March 7th room?
Oh? Why are you interested in her room? Ah, Pom Pom remembers Himiko saying that you saved her. Very brave. Very foolhardy. But that is what a trailblazer should be like. March 7th's room is in the express sleeper compartment. She's always running around, so she might not be there.
About Dan Hong's room?
Dan Hong's room? Oh, you mean the archives? He's just sorta living in there, I guess. I can't be bothered getting him out. March 7th's room is right next to the archives. You can visit him on the way.
Is that a phonograph?
You recognize this as well? Himiko always likes to bring back weird junk and try to fix it. That also got modified a bit.
That's all my
Pom Pom
questions.
still needs to prepare for the Express's warp jump. You can look around the place yourself. No matter where you go on this train, Pom Pom will always have my eyes on you.
Investigate the phonograph.
Himiko likes using the phonograph a lot. She says it can play melodies from the past. Welt likes collecting these jet black discs. It seems like they could be antiques. He'd be very happy if you could bring a few back.
Head to passenger cabins. Stunlock room.
There seems to be the sound of
Endless
electronic
ringing.
equipment.
Who's there?
I haven't even.
I learned to sense incoming visitors after people kept barging in so frequently.
I mean, this guy is living in the public space, so you know that's on him. he's sleeping in the freaking archive room, on the floor, based.
Can I help you? Feel free. This is open to everyone on the Express. While many of the roads that Akivili traveled along no longer exist, I think it's still
You know what?
meaningful
Now
to
I know
record
it's
our
Akivili
adventures as
and not
current
Akivali.
passengers of the Express.
That's what we call growth.
I enter the collected data into the archive's databank. I try to catalog the people and places the Express encounters, and compare and contrast them with the existing records. Do you see the terminal over there? It can be used to view information already stored in the databank. Do give it a go.
Alright. Hit me with the lore. Let's see. View character details. Alright. I am in the faction Astral Express, First Awakening 1/4/2025. Character introduction. A girl who boarded the Astral Express. She chose to travel with the Astral Express to eliminate the dangers posed by the Stellaron. Voice.
Choice isn't as elusive as it may appear. I'm not done yet. Journeys never end. This is my will. March, lead the counterattack. I believe in you. Dan Hong, let's make this quick. Like always, Dan Hong, let's make this quick. I'm counting on you to wrap this up, Himiko. I'm on it, well... Mr. Yang.
Damn. Mr. Yang. Wow, there's no voice for this. An unexpected sight, but this is also what it means to trailblaze.
This is our chance. Stay alert. Let's go. Let's make it quick. Who's next? Batter up. Take this. Just a scratch. It'll take more than that. Rules are made to be broken.
Iconic line.
You're out. You've outstayed your welcome. Decisive strike. So this is defeat.
Yeah, who even knows if I'll even get to unlocking dailies at this rate?
One more at bat. Much better. Keep at it. Reach the end of the story in your own way. Looks good. Is that all? Great. The more the better.
So that's how it works.
No match for me.
We need a strategy.
It's still early. Where to now?
Wait, that does not sound like
We
her.
need a strategy.
It's still early. Where to now?
I swear that sounds like Natasha. Okay, we have nothing unlocked here. Yeah. So I'll probably never get any of the non-standard banners, so they're locked behind a paywall. So sad. Faction, Astral Express. Character introduction, a girl who once slumbered in eternal ice and knows nothing about her past. To find out the truth about her origins, she decided to travel with the Astral Express. As of right now, she has prepared about 67 different versions of her life story for herself. Damn, she's cooking. Alright, first meeting.
Hello. Welcome aboard the Astral Express. My name is March 7th. I'm one of the passengers. We'll be working together. First, we need to take your induction photo. Did that scare you? Just a joke.
I cannot wait for the 3.0 March 7th lore. I hope we actually find out why she was encased in the ice.
You're just in time. We haven't taken our selfie today. I'm gonna get some rest after I've sorted these photos. Don't stay up all night playing video games again. I came up with my name myself, but some people just call me March. Which do you prefer?
I can't believe she
Maybe
just
my past
picked the
isn't
date
behind me,
as her name.
but in front of me. That's why I'm gonna keep going forward, one stop at a time. Train or no train. Juice. If I say the word, I get a craving. If I get a craving, I want to drink some. And if I drink some... I can't stop.
Really? I feel like there's been like so much build up towards like March 7th, and like now that Dan Heng has his secondary form, we found out his past. It's like, okay, what about this girl? She also was like, has amnesia. Doesn't know who she is, what she is, why she has those ice powers. That's true. We could have more. I want to see what the 5-star form for her is going to be. I'm pretty sure there's going to be a 5-star form for her.
Of course, photos aren't reality, but if you have enough of them, doesn't reality come a little closer?
Dude, she was meant to be an emanator of remembrance with her photos.
Taking pictures, writing in my diary. What else is there to say? I get really bored when no one's talking to me. When we're on the Express, Himeko and Mr. Yang are pretty busy, but Dan Heng's usually free. He doesn't like chatting, though. Every time I'm done sorting my album and look out the window, I always want to take another picture. Even though I've seen the view 1,000 times, I still feel happy looking at the stars like this. No matter how disgusting the dish, you gotta summon your trailblazing spirit and face it. Not gonna lie though, jellied eels and Himeko's coffee are pretty tough to stomach.
I see what you're saying. You don't want it to be connected to Empress. You know, I didn't watch too many of the trailers about Empress. I don't really understand what the world is and like the lore behind it, which is kind of part of the reason why I wanted to go into a deep dive of the lore in Honkai Star Rail, because I'm like, I don't really understand anything that's going on. And I'm just here for the memes. But I'm like, but what if I do want to know about the lore?
Dan Heng got on the train before me. He never mentioned his past. If you get the chance, why don't you ask him about it? Beautiful Himeko. She's sensible, reliable, and elegant. It's great to have her as the navigator. When I'm grown up, I'm gonna be just like her. I like the now me too, though. I heard Mr. Yang was once the leader of a secret organization and saved a whole planet. Not to mention he's been a teacher and even a storyboard artist. He must be an alien or something.
Was once the leader of a secret organization. Now, like, this makes me curious because Welt is from, what is it? Honkai Impact 3rd. So I'm like, what is this? What is this talking about? I have no idea.
The conductor is the best! Even after we found out about his mysterious past, he's still the same Dan Heng we've always known.
Wait, we didn't find out anything about his mysterious past. This is spoilers.
My past is gradually coming to light. Today me is even more awesome than yesterday me.
Yeah, I'm interested to know about Empress.
I'm all grown up. My real journey starts now. That's right. I still have a few tricks up my sleeve. You're coming with? I'm keeping score. I'm gonna show them what I can really do. Huh? Why the weird face, Dan Heng? I'm gonna show them what I can really do. Huh? Dan Heng, you better believe in me.
Dude, Dan Heng and March 7th are like peak sibling relationship.
If push
Just
comes to
bickering all the
shove,
time.
I'm counting on you, Himeko. Mr. Yang's here! Yeah! Did I just say that out loud? Yeah! This looks way cooler than when you were using a baton. I told ya I could fight. Oh, great. Another walk in the park. You have the worst luck running into me. My turn. What's wrong? Afraid of what I might do? Watch this! With me out here, how can we lose? Stay right there while I give you a present! You're annoying! Go away! Gotta try hard sometimes. Check out this awesome move! You can't run! Try that again! I don't want to be alone.
F. True. I also don't want to be alone, Sag.
All right, I'm done messing around. Thanks a lot. Freeze! You couldn't have done it without me.
True.
Shiny. Ooh, sparkly. Finders keepers. Whoa, there's so much. I deserve a nice pat on the back for that one. Done and dusted. Crush now or crush later? Wanna go take some pictures?
A spirited and quirky young girl who is into all the things girls her age are interested in, such as taking photos. She was awakened from a piece of drifting eternal ice only to find that she knows nothing about herself or her past. Though initially feeling dejected, she decided to name herself after the date of her rebirth, and thus, on that day, March 7th was born. Dan Heng. Faction Astral Express. Character introduction. A cold and reserved young man who is reticent about his past. To avoid his kin, he decided to travel with the Astral Express.
I should reintroduce myself. My name is Dan Heng. I'm the guard on the Express. I also administer the train's databank.
Distant world to which even Akivili didn't come. So not much Aeonic influences. Interesting. But then, what's the connection with the remembrance? Like, why was Black Swan telling us about it? Sus.
I updated the databank entries today, if you wanted to look anything up. Time to turn in already? Thanks for the reminder. It's easy to lose track of time in the archives. Before you know it, a whole day's gone by. See you tomorrow. I come from an alliance and was born on a grand and beautiful ship that I barely had the chance to see. I can never return. At that time, I had nowhere to go but the Express. Cloudpiercer is always with me, for my safety and the safety of everyone else. It's not really a hobby, but I used to read a lot.
Same. Also used to read a lot.
If you're not there to look something up, then please don't enter the archives. It's not a place for chit-chat.
Yep.
As vast as the universe is, it cannot change its past. Once there are sufficient records in the databank, the flow of individuals will link together seemingly independent events. March's weakness is that she likes to get involved in other people's business. Perhaps that's also her strength.
Damn, just calling her nosy.
If you have questions about the Express, Himiko can give you the best answer. Mr. Yang is a very compassionate person, but thankfully, he doesn't pry.
So everyone calls him Mr. Yang, and it's like, kind of like in schools in America, like teachers don't like it when you call them by their first name. They're always like, you should call me by like Mr. or Mrs. and then my last name. Otherwise, it's like a sign of disrespect. So is it like Welt? Because he's like a teacher, he's like, oh, like I want to have distance. Basically, I'm like, who is Welt? Like, he can make black holes.
My intuition tells me that it would be unwise to provoke the conductor. We mustn't cling to the past.
Since we're going there now, the information ants are interested in something new. We know that remembrance, erudition, and a third path have something to do with this world. Interesting. I don't know, but I am so stoked for the new patch. Waiting room?
Just as the databank requires updating, so I must keep evolving. Leave the past behind. The future beckons my thoughts. I will choose my own path.
You know, this guy
Leave
keeps
the
on
past
talking
behind.
about leaving the
The
past
future
behind.
beckons my thoughts.
But it's funny because he's like behind all the archiving, which is like preserving history. Weird dichotomy.
Tread carefully. March, stay with the group. Don't rush off. Himiko, you can leave any contingencies to me. Mr. Yang, do you have any advice on this matter? You. Keep your distance.
They have no voice. I look forward to cooperating during our travels together. Mr. Mystery Man, Welt Yang.
It's too late to repent. Move carefully. Clemency? Never heard of it. Step aside. I have no interest in stoking conflict. Don't hesitate. The time is now. Careless. The truth of life and death, revealed in an instant. This sanctuary is but a vision. Break! This can't be. This body isn't that frail. Don't worry about me. This will strengthen our position. Past victories don't guarantee future ones. Worth our while. There's knowledge of this in the databank. This should be securely stored. That wasn't too difficult. Seamless. That enemy certainly isn't friendly. I'll need to record today's notes in the databank.
a cold and reserved young man who wields a spear known as Cloudpiercer. He acts as the Express's guard on its long, trailblazing expedition. Don Hung never talks much about his past. In fact, he joined the Express crew to escape from a past of his own making. But can the Express really help him outrun his past? No. He can't outrun Blade. Ampharos people don't know of Aeons but have their own deities. 12 titans, each controlling their own domain of power. Oh, is that why, other than the visual, people keep comparing it to Greece? Because titans were also a big part of Greek mythology, I think. Maybe. I could be talking out of my ass right now. I have no idea. Asta, faction Herta Space Station. The lead researcher of Herta Space Station and a lady from a renowned family. She's an astronomer overflowing with curiosity and excels at managing the disparate staff of the space station. So she's like a part of the C-suite. Lol.
Hi, the name's Asta. I'm the lead researcher on Herta Space Station. I'll be sure to let you know if I need your help. Don't worry, I think you'll be hearing from me. Oh, you're here. The observation matrix we adjusted should have some results for us now. Free to take a look? Is that the time? Time flies when you're working hard. Even if I never kept in touch with any of my relatives, they would find their way over here.
Damn.
You heard right. If I don't work hard, I'll have to go back and inherit the family fortune.
Wait, what? If I don't work hard, I'll have to go back and inherit the family fortune. And that's a F for her. Damn. If only I had a family fortune to just freaking roll back on if things don't work out. Is this what we call privilege?
I haven't written a single word yet, but it won't take long once I get started. The space station is merely Herta's toy box. That's by no means an inaccurate statement, but this is Herta we're talking about. Her toys are pretty dangerous. Continuously channeling funds into constructing the space station, improving employee benefits, creating a positive feedback loop, as well as satisfying the lead researchers, that is to say my, indispensable shopping needs.
Shopaholic.
If only Madame Herta could pay a visit to the space station more often. The researchers are clearly her followers. When I first got to the space station, the researchers had prepared a room for me. I was really grateful, but it was far away from everyone else. That was a bit disheartening. Even the monitoring room is being monitored. Arlen's always saying stuff like, "All of you must heed lead researcher Asta's judgment." And then, when I remind him that includes him, he says, "Don't worry, I have my own judgment." If there's anyone who thinks they can be as headstrong as Madame Herta, I'd recommend they consider whether or not they possess her intelligence first. The last time I spoke with Topaz, we agreed to take a holiday. Oh, we were going to charter a ship, go star-seeing, and catch up on all the IPC gossip. But we still haven't had the chance.
Wait, Asta is friends with Topaz? She's gonna go on a holiday with her. And gossip. Spilling the tea. Damn. Did not know this.
I asked Miss Ron May where I could buy a charm like the one on her sleeve, but I was surprised to learn she'd hand-embroidered it. I was equally surprised when she gave me my own hand-embroidered charm the next time she came to the space station. Her craftsmanship, like her research papers, is superb.
It said that Titans created Ampharos, and life on it cultivated it. But doesn't that sound like being a god, and aren't Aeons like God? Like, how do people become Aeons? Like, I think the funniest one was the Elation Aeon who became an Aeon. What was it? What was the background? That there was a baby crying or something, and he thought it was so funny that he ascended. I'm like, what? How do you just become an Aeon? That makes no sense to me. So then I'm like, if they create an Empress and life on it, like, why are they not Aeons?
Every star is a miracle. The more I learn about it, the more I love the starry sky. Goals are like the stars. We'll reach them eventually. Another step closer to distant worlds. The Express has been a lifeline. Time to return the favor. Arlen, don't carry the weight alone. Oh, Madame Herta? We've got nothing to worry about. Topaz, what a coincidence. Guess I should see this as a business trip.
Okay, maybe they're just work friends.
Scared yet? Time to get vigilant. A guest with no manners, huh? I don't remember inviting you. Guess what I'm about to do? Look out! Who's the lucky one today? A gift from the stars. Ow, ow, ow!
Empress is plagued by darkness of unknown, but probably not Titanic origin. It's bad, and potentially Titans could have stopped it, but they also had trouble among themselves. Yeah, that does sound like Greek mythology, where like the gods are more like human in nature, so then they're just like, they have so many interpersonal problems. So like nothing gets done and there's like so much drama. So my question is Empress where the Fate Stay collab is going to happen? Like, is that the darkness? Like, everyone also is memeing about how Maide looks like Gilgamesh. I'm like, was that a choice because they know we're doing a collab with Fate Stay? Like, what's happening?
No, don't! Everything is ordained by the stars. Oh, profound secrets of the stars. Give these trailblazers your blessing. But I want to know more. That didn't count. Let's go again. Saving me won't earn you any favors. Found your weakness. The stars will always remember us. Do I have this already? Hope you like them. Definitely worth our while. Progress. Been a while since I worked on one of these. Might as well beat it up before it attacks me. Can you see the stars from here, too?
So now all Titans are mostly dead, and darkness is only held back by a giant lantern one Titan holds on his shoulders. F. So we only got Atlas holding back the darkness. Tragedy. A fiercely inquisitive and energetic young girl, she is the lead researcher of the space station Herta. Whether it is managing opinionated staff or courteously but firmly responding to the Intelligentsia Guild's devious demands, Asta handles it all effortlessly. After all, commanding a space station is much easier than taking over the family business. Okay, what is this family business that she does not want to inherit? How is commanding a space station easier? Herta. Faction Herta Space Station. Member 83 of the Genius Society, the real master of the space station. An incredibly intelligent yet unsympathetic scientist. I wouldn't expect Fate Collab to be story relevant in any capacity. I hope so, because I would hate that like a collab limited character is like relevant. Like I would want it not to be relevant to the story. I mean, it would be cool to have the characters if you get them, but I don't know. It feels weird.
This is Herta. I'm busy right now. This is my ranged puppet's automated response mode. Hello, everyone. Hope you have a wonderful day. Goodbye. Why not come around today and help me with my research? You'll be the subject, by the way. I've lost interest in your research potential for today. See you tomorrow. What do you make of it? It's about 70% similar to how I looked as a child. That's not to ponder. You'll be scratching your chin all day.
No longer true. We're going to see her true form soon.
The good thing about this club is that it doesn't ask me for anything. In fact, it doesn't even care if I'm a member. Why do I get to visit an Eon? I'm Herta. That's why. If you're not solving problems or writing up contributions, then don't blame me if your life is boring. I'm perfect enough already. What else do I need to prove? Of course, I could write a few more books. What would I get out of that? Why should I bother? The Intelligentsia Guild is always able to find a way to support their case, writing enough scholarship in one night to fill a library. This is a problem. The Lord of Silence erased the eyes from the portrait, but drew everyone's attention in the process. Asta provided financial assistance to a few exceptional children. I assume Arlen was one of them. If my other collections had people like Asta watching over them, I could take a hands-off approach. I give her the most boring things, and then she gives them back to me, and they're suddenly interesting.
Damn simping for Himiko.
Ronmei is a genius among geniuses. I won't deny that. I don't always get along with her, but I do admire her. Maybe the admiration is mutual. Define inspiration? It's only several thousand ideas racing through my mind every minute.
ADHD.
You call that a build update? Well, finally! Clocking off. Bye. Happy? Word of advice. Don't expect too much from a puppet. You better be good. My time is precious. Ugh, why the long face? I'm not going to eat you. Asta! Here's the key. Gotta go now. Bye. You know the drill. Send me all your new toys, and I'll return them later. I don't usually get to see you outside the simulated universe. Who do you want to experiment on this time?
Everyone knows that Ronmei is a mad scientist.
Oh, poor you. And you're supposed to be stronger? What are you looking at? You must be honored to meet me. Idle mode. How boring. This is gonna hurt. Maybe you can keep it down? I won't break. I'm breaking.
I won't break,
I'm
and
breaking.
I'm breaking.
Do you know who I am? Ever see a diamond this big? Oh, it's all yours. Time to twirl. Time to twirl. Connection lost. Rebooting. How appropriate. Upgrade configured. How am I gonna get that time back? That's it? Oh, acceptable quality. Awesome. Cool. Can we go now?
I know that we're missing the kururu because we're in English. It's so sad. The memes.
It took you that long? Oh, I can do this in my sleep. Now, how should I dispose of you? Is there anything interesting here? I doubt it.
Herta, Space Station's true master. As a human with the highest IQ on the blue, she only does what she's interested in, dropping projects the moment she loses interest, the best example being the space station. She typically appears in the form of a remote-controlled puppet. It's about 70% similar to how I looked as a child. Herta. Serval, Faction Belobog. A Belobog mechanic who used to be a researcher for the technology division of the Architects. As Gepard Landau's elder sister, her personality stands in stark contrast to her brother's. She loves an ancient form of music known as rock and roll that was popular before the Eternal Freeze. Ancient form of music.
Hi, the name's Serval Landau. I'm a Belobog mechanic. Of course, that's really just what I do on the side. Rock and roll is my main occupation. Huh? You start work this early? Signing off now. Time to get some songwriting going. If we Landaus have one thing in common, it's that we're all stubborn in our own way. If you want to make sure you don't burn yourself out or stifle your creativity, then don't push yourself too hard at work.
True. The burnout is too real.
Payla's got a lot on her plate. Plus, she also does volunteer work on the weekends sometimes. That's why we usually schedule Mechanical Fever's rehearsals at night. Since I do rock and roll full-time, I'd say my hobby is work? What's wrong with that? I always get people asking me how my workshop makes money when it's not trading. Use your brain. It doesn't. Mechanics, research, and music are all things I'm pretty good at, wouldn't you say? But I guess making money is not on the list. When Bronya becomes the Supreme Guardian, do you reckon she'll let me perform at Golden Theater? I'll rearrange that Supreme Guardian stage show and make it a rock and roll musical. If he paid more attention to his affairs, it'd save me a lot of headaches. I guess I do create a few headaches for him too. Maybe we're even. She's a flower-growing drummer and a great report writer. Name a more reliable girl. I'll wait. Bronya's a good kid. You can tell she learned a lot from Cocolia. It's been a while since we saw each other. I miss her. The Cocolia I knew would sit on the roof and listen to my songs. But not the Supreme Guardian.
She's changed.
That guy? One of these days, he's gonna get busted by my brother. Lynxie? She's more like me. Don't tell my brother that. He hates hearing it. Rock and roll might be my only true companion. Nice! I should write this into my next song. That's it? I've peaked already. Ta-da! Another one off the to-do list. Just like being on stage, right, Payla? I'll follow your rhythm. You again, Jeppy? Leave some fun for me this time. Ready, Lynxie? Let's rock! Your mother would be proud of you, Bronya. Time for the main event. Here to crash the party? Pretty good crowd today. This song's just for you. The audience is waiting. Let's rock! Keep up with my tempo. Turn up the volume. That's it. Not bad. Ready to lose yourself? Fight it or rock with it. My music conquers all. The show must go on. Time for an encore. Ready to jam. Can't stop the rock. The best is yet to come. Wow, good stuff. Wow. Never expected to find this here. I'm getting the hang of this. Wish I had time to examine its inner workings. Huh. These targets will make for good practice. There's inspiration in every glance and every breeze.
The free and rebellious eldest daughter of the Landau family. Once a close friend of Cocolia, she is now a mechanic purely because she likes this job. In the Everwinter-stricken Belobog, she opened a workshop called Neverwinter that puts business on hold from time to time for outdoor rock and roll performances. And should anyone ask her about the workshop's profits, this is just a hobby, dear. I'm not short on money. Okay. Here we go. Concepts. A young shoot sprouted from the cracks of primordial chaos. Nurtured by time for billions of years, it grew into a huge, unrivaled tree. The branches of the giant tree bore colorful young leaves, each containing a fragment of the universe's will. a will that eternally speaks in cryptic vagaries, but also bestows stunning scenery, treasures, epics, and life upon every world. Herda Space Station location. Not content with the laws of the common world, Herda of the Genius Society set her sights on the unexplained existences of the cosmos, expecting those distant mysteries to satisfy her curiosity. To this end, Herda led the establishment of a museum-like starship and launched it into orbit, starting the research to seal all strange existences among the stars. That was how the famous Herda space station was born. Nowadays, the space station possesses innumerable curios and is a veritable space museum. A great number of researchers also live on the station. They continuously collect relics and curios all over the cosmos, record their appearances and functions, establish systematic methods to observe and study them, ultimately finding even more confounding enigmas from their studies. That, in fact, was Herda's initial goal. This large collection often attracts jealous eyes. Various forces watch from the shadows. Due to Herda's power, the space station had rarely experienced a real crisis, and the collection and investigation work continues to operate in an orderly manner. Chirillo... What is that? I don't know Roman numerals. We'll just call it Chirillo. Historians often start the planetary history of Chirillo from the War of the Gods thousands of years ago. The war between the 11 parent states and the Veles Union army scorched the land for years until an early spring completely changed the fortunes of war, and the Veles had a total victory. They praised the spring war god Chirillo for helping them eliminate their arch-enemy and praised the land with poems of the same name. The current name of the planet in the Cosmos records, Chirillo, may be a mistranslation that contains a poetry stanza number. When the mythological war was over, Chirillo welcomed a long period of peace and developed from a hunter-gatherer society to one conducting space explorations. Unfortunately, Chirillo was a planet with few resources. Intensive development brought top-tier technological advances to Chirillo, but also brought an end to their history. Exhausted resources, the arrival of Stellaron, and the appearance of the Eternal Freeze, these various disasters completely annihilated Chirillo's glorious but short-lived civilization. The survivors of the Eternal Freeze managed to stay alive in a corner of the planet. They forgot the old name of Chirillo and created Belobog, a city made to shelter against the Eternal Freeze, and continued their civilization. Due to its isolated and dangerous natural environment, Chirillo lost contact with other worlds after the appearance of the Cancer of all worlds. Wow, that sucks. Just one L after another. The Zhanzhou Luofu. Zhanzhou Luofu is one of the 6 flagships of the Zhanzhou Alliance. It sails in the endless ocean of stars like a one-way arrow, shooting towards the destined enemy of the Lord of the Hunt. After the war with the denizens of abundance, the Luofu traveled between densely populated interstellar segmenta, trading and conducting cultural exchange between different worlds. They signed agreements with the Interastral Peace Corporation and helped many worlds ravaged by the denizens of abundances to rebuild their ecosystem. People arrived at the Luofu to seek medical treatment, study, and trade, with throngs of visitors filling the docks. Though warfare has receded, the Luofu has not relaxed his watch against the denizens of abundance. The star skiffs of the Cloud Knights would head to planets that went out of contact to seek information, while the Zhanzhou Ten Lords Commission remains on guard for any elixir seeker pursuing everlasting life. The desire for immortality is the beginning of all tragedies. The Zhanzhou will not allow any younger civilizations to walk its old path. The Zhanzhou Yao King is one of the 6 flagships of the Zhanzhou Alliance. It sails in the endless ocean of stars like a colossal sword, wiping out the abominations ravaging the various segmenta. Out of the 6 flagships, the Zhanzhou Yao King is known for its military prowess and has long been standing at the forefront of the most intense combat missions. Under the ferocious assault of the elite verdant knights of the Yao King, armed forces mainly comprise of Foxians, the army of abominations made up of Borgian and the like, has finally been routed, with their numbers now on the decline. Despite earning a high reputation and respect within the alliance due to their frequent reports of military victories, the Zhanzhou Yao King is also the center of a heated debate. The Yao King has been closely cooperating with the Interastral Peace Corporation for a long time in exchange for technology and supplies required for combat. They have annihilated countless abominations in many worlds, rendering many of them spoils of war in the credit system. This has led to many raising suspicions on whether the Zhanzhou Yao King is indeed the vanguard of the hunt, or whether it has become a warship of the preservation gone unnoticed. Damn. The Zhanzhou Zhuming is one of the 6 flagships of the Zhanzhou Alliance. It sails in the endless ocean of stars like a tempered hammer, creating many marvels of weaponry for the Cloud Knights to use in battle. The Zhanzhou Zhuming has been known for its exquisite craftsmanship and alchemy techniques since it first set sail during the primeval Imperium era. In the course of its voyage over the past 8,000 years, modifications have been constantly carried out on the Zhanzhou Zhuming, such that it no longer resembles how it originally looked. Regardless, the fire of innovation and knowledge burning in the hearts of the craftsmen on board has never been extinguished. After the Flaming Catastrophe War, the Flint Emperor, predecessor of all Heliobi, was imprisoned within the Zhuming. While in captivity, it fell into a deep slumber. Craftsmen of the Zhuming then constructed the ring-shaped flame wheel forge around this creature of celestial levels of pure energy, drawing upon this source of infinite energy for their use. By now, the Zhanzhou Zhuming has become the holy land of artisanship, renowned throughout the stars. Its production engineering technology rivaling that of planet Skrulum and Pierpoint has attracted countless people seeking to learn and who have all returned home with abundance of knowledge. Wait, there's a planet Skrulum? Isn't he the robot in the Genius Society? Is he like a leader of a planet? What? The planet of festivities in the Astana star system, also known as Land of the Dreams. A luxurious hotel positioned above the fathomless sky, Penacony is also a popular vacation spot where interstellar celebrities party the days away and the affluent from diverse worlds revel in lavish ventures. People flock here in search of dreams they've longed for or have already buried, and through dream pools in the hotel are transported to a realm of dreams where everything can come true. Rarely do guests pay attention to Penacony's heavy past. A millennium ago, it was a frontier prison established by the IPC. Exiled prisoners must survive an arduous journey across vast distances to reach this location, and are then forced to take up a dangerous duty. I don't know if he named after planet or planet after him, but he is ruler over there. Interesting. Okay. But he still has enough time to come visit us. You know why he's a real one? To mend the physical leak through which Memoria seeps into the galaxy. As they frequently labor while being exposed to Memoria, the prisoners gradually discover themselves entering a captivating shared dream world, where they collectively obtained a single shared desire: freedom. After the eruption of the Cancer of all worlds, the ownership of the frontier prison changed hands. Historical records related to the struggle are scarce and often questionable. However, some accounts clearly state that with the assistance of various factions, including the Morning Actors, never heard of the Morning Actors, or maybe it was name dropped, and I was furiously clicking through dialogue on my other account, the Masked Fools, that I know, the Elation, the Nameless, which is us, and the Omen Vanguards. Also don't know who they are. The prisoners emerged as the new rulers of the nascent realm. Sounds of discord could then periodically be heard during the subsequent times when it became a land of exiles. It was only when the family descended and took control of the dreamscape that Penacony experienced unparalleled and explosive prosperity, transforming into a renowned cosmic resort. What a glow up. Prison to cosmic resort. Louis Fleming. Oh my god, this is the original scammer guy. If we were to compose a list of the most famous mortals in the entire cosmos, then Louis Fleming, the man famous for 700 and so amber eras, must have his name there. He is the founder of the Interastral Peace Corporation, a bona fide lifetime member of the board of directors, and the only person who had attended all 14,600 board meetings. Jesus Christ, that is a lot of board meetings. He is also the most powerful person in the universe after the Aeons. As IPC's biggest stakeholders, Louis Fleming's wealth is now literally beyond count. Many even joke that this mysterious tycoon is the Aeon of Wealth. Some are convinced that Louis Fleming is only a legend. No mortal body can possibly endure such an eternity. Some surmise that Louis is a name inherited by generations of the same family. Some believe Director Fleming is a myth deliberately maintained by the IPC. Some believe the man used his wealth to obtain immortality. Some claim Louis had turned himself into Data and discarded his mortal shell. Some even said Director Fleming had already ascended and became a god. The official line from the Interastral Peace Corporation is that Louis Fleming had definitely existed and still exists. Apart from that, all other information about the man remains top-class secrets. What if Louis Fleming is Diamond? Who is Diamond? Herta character. Scholars can usually leave their names in history with one great achievement. Herta, however, had countless achievements, and that was why she received the glance of Nous and became a member of the Genius Society. All members of the Genius Society are oddballs, and Herta is no exception. Her scholarship is entirely driven by interest. If she lost interest halfway through a project, she would instantly discard all her work. Therefore, multiple topics that could have made critical advancements to civilization were stopped because they were not interesting. Even though the Intelligentsia Guild had obtained her manuscripts after great difficulty, they often could do nothing to further progress the studies. However, Herta nowadays seems to have expanded her interests a little. She has started to contact the Interastral Peace Corporation, has helped the Zhanzhou chase off abominations, and even has had some friction with the Garden of Recollection. She is already very sociable compared to the other odd hermits of the Genius Society. Who knows what else she might take an interest in? Maybe she doesn't even know it herself. Synesthesia Beacon Technology. From the moment civilization started exploring the cosmos, they have been set into a dilemma between ceaseless conflict and desirous of communication. Though conflict is also a form of communication. Instead of resorting to the violent carnage and loss of warfare, people crave more to suppress language barriers and reach a mutually beneficial understanding. Therefore, humanity started an endless pursuit toward the accurate translation of languages. However, the problem of linguistic information losing its accuracy and becoming muddled between different writing systems seemed unconquerable. According to records, the IPC once created a translation dictionary that contained languages from nearly 6,000 civilizations, but this could not be used in practice due to the huge size of the searchable database. What was even more troubling is that languages are living entities. As civilization advanced, new phrases and slang grew rapidly, making translation exponentially harder. The Riddlers? Who the hell are the Riddlers? The Riddlers were also interfering with languages, making communication between planetary systems even more challenging. After many years, the deceptively simple issue of translation was finally solved by Elias? Elias Salas, the 56th member of the Genius Society. Elias Salas proposed the following hypothesis to make communication between geniuses easier. The thought processes of intelligent creatures are mostly represented via inner language, just like how people would subconsciously read to themselves when looking at words and form thoughts that way. If we can skip that step of information transmission and instead link up our consciousness, convert the codes of our inner language, then let the receiver's language processing system analyze and restore that information, then we will have no barriers in communication. A manuscript on thoughts regarding the art of communication, prologue by Elias Salas. That was how Elias Salas created the first pair of synesthesia beacon prototypes. Regrettably, language was not the only communication barrier between geniuses. There was also arrogance. The members of the society ignored his invention, and this brilliant piece of engineering marvel was forgotten for centuries. However, the invisible restrictions of language continued to frustrate the Interastral Peacenet Corporation. They issued an irrefutable ultimatum to the Intelligentsia Guild, which they themselves funded. The scholars modified and labored amongst ancient manuscripts and finally recreated the synesthesia beacons. The age of interstellar communication finally began. Nowadays, the synesthesia beacon is the fundamental technology of all intelligent life forms in the cosmos, with just one injection that embeds the beacon in your central nervous system. Wait, what? Embed the beacon in your central nervous system. This is like... What is it that Elon Musk is trying to make? The Neuralink? Is this the Neuralink? You would be able to understand an alien language from the furthest star as if it was your native tongue. Unfortunately, the cosmos did not become peaceful with the universal language. On the contrary, there were even more conflicts. When people could understand each other's language but had very diverse standards in life, countless fights started to erupt between groups with different outlooks. Parties sought to suppress each other, and races eagerly planned to hunt each other down. Damn. This is America. Peak racism right here. Neither Elias Salas nor the Intelligentsia Guild had predicted this outcome. Clearly, they've never looked at history. Everyone gotta have something to hate. Amber Era Calendar. The calendar commonly used in the cosmos, created and promoted by the Interastral Peace Corporation. The Amber Era started at the estimated birth of Qliphoth as the Aeon of Preservation and initiates a new era every time Qliphoth swings their hammer during construction. Initiates a new era. So what if he just like starts hammering away? Like every day is a new era. That would be hilarious. As Qliphoth swings their hammer at unpredictable intervals, the duration of every Amber Era varies significantly. The length of one Amber Era has been anywhere between 76 to 240 Trailblaze years when converted. The Astro Express restarted its journey on 2157 Amber Era AE. Okay. I guess since he's so big, just one swing just takes forever. Trailblaze Calendar. The calendar used by the Astral Express. It is said to have come from the home planet of Akivili, the Aeon of Trailblaze, the isolated world of Pagana. The Trailblaze calendar system has each year split into 12 months, and each month is of different length. Apparently this calendar is still used in many of the planets that Akivili had once passed in their travels. Okay, so that's the calendar that we know. The imaginary tree is a theory of the universe widely accepted by the modern scientific community. This theory describes the various worlds existing in different spacetimes as having a tree-like structure. Every branch is a specific path along which worlds might exist, with every leaf being the marks these worlds have made along the parameter of time. The crown of the tree remains in a dynamic state as it absorbs the masterless imaginary energy from the spacetime vasculature of the trunk. New shoots grow, withered leaves fall, and endless births and deaths occur among the infinite universe. Describing the universe's structure as a tree may be an attitude that views the imaginary tree as a life form. Before the theory of imaginary tree was put forward, the universe had been addressed as a void and indiscernible object because of its undetectable nature. After the theory was developed, people would visualize its principle using imagination. The untamed imaginary energy surges endlessly through space-time vasculature and forms at its tips star clusters that humans can understand. In other words, countless worlds. The worlds are separated from each other just as leaves are separated by air, between which are unknown imaginary domains that are nigh impossible to traverse. The Intelligentsia Guild had once thought that Harold Punch, the second member of the Genius Society, was the first to propose the imaginary tree origin theory. After multiple assessments of the influence of the history fictionologists, the scientific community now commonly accepts Xander 1 Kuwabara as a person to have proposed it. Okay. Aiden. If Xander had never existed, then there might not have been a genius society in the world, and mortals would have one less ivory tower on a mountain. However, if Aiden had never existed, then mortals would not have known where the mountain is. What? Who's Aiden? Aiden set the universal laws for the entire cosmos, which transformed it from a distant concept to a tangible, measurable, and comprehensible objective existence. The 9-worded formulae he created replaced traditional algebra and geometry, and still shapes natural laws to this day. He was also generous as the first member of the Genius Society to publicly share his findings. He selflessly shared his talent with others seeking wisdom, propelling cosmic civilization ever onward. When various scientific fields were established, these founders had always said they were standing on Aiden's shoulders. Countless mathematicians and engineers in endless amber eras had bravely scaled this peak of wisdom, but none had even reached the great man's earlobes. People named the most fundamental unit in mechanical physics as Aiden. It wasn't just due to his achievements in the fundamental sciences, but also a reminder to posterity that Aiden, 22nd member of the Genius Society, was a force that moved scientific advancement forward in the cosmos. He had left innumerable legacies, and the stars will always respect and remember him. This reminds me of how the person who invented seatbelts did not make a patent on it because he thought safety was more important than profit. And so people who are willing to share knowledge to progress society are people who actually propel society. Interstellar travel. In the ancient times before Akivili the Trailblaze traversed the starry skies, people were already casting their eyes to the mighty cosmos above their heads. Armed with infinite curiosity towards the unknown, countless civilizations had started space exploration. However, their attempts had all failed. In the imaginary tree theory put forward by Xander 1 Kuwabara, first member of the Genius Society, the universe is filled with a mysterious imaginary energy. Imaginary energy isolates star clusters from each other, and even light cannot pass through it. Therefore, human space exploration is often limited by the boundaries of their individual worlds, unable to advance any further. Xander also posed a hypothesis that humans will be able to control the universe if we can control and manipulate imaginary energy. It was a romantic illusion for a long time until it was brought into reality by the appearance of the emanators of aeons. So is imaginary energy just dark matter in our science? Kind of sounds like it. Light cannot pass through it. Cancer of all worlds. Various factions had started to notice a phenomenon since a specific time. A vague, imperceptible matter was disrupting the flow of imaginary energy along the interstellar routes created by Trailblaze. like a mountain climber meeting a cliff or a long-distance ship encountering tsunamis and whirlpools. Interstellar travel changed from being unobstructed to being dangerous and unpredictable. That's true. It is a game. There's a creative what is it called? I can't think of the word, but this is their created universe and they can do what they want. This phenomenon is remarkably aggressive. It continues to encroach upon neighboring worlds in the form of a mysterious object, the Stellaron. It keeps spreading all over the universe like a cancerous growth, leading the Interastral Pizza Corporation to call it Cancer of All Worlds, and warning interstellar travelers not to take it lightly. The worlds swamped by the Cancer of All Worlds were soon beyond saving, and very few people survived. There are many speculations regarding the Cancer of All Worlds, and most are related to Nanook, the Destruction, and the Antimatter Legion. These cosmic destroyers often seem to appear together with Stellarons. We do not yet know if these occurrences are related or are only coincidences. Yeah, is it a coincidence that the Stellaron that was put in us, we started with the Path of Destruction? Sus. Stellaron object. See entry for Cancer of All Worlds. Fragmentum phenomenon. As the Cancer of All Worlds spreads along the worlds, the corrosive phenomenon of fragmentum is also quietly expanding. The Intelligentsia Guild believes there is a direct causative relationship between the two phenomena. They believe that the fragmentum is caused by the Stellaron and converts the entities and spaces it touches into special fragmentum creations. These creations usually exist as a type of spatial corrosion. They seem to preserve the memories and habits of the original physical entity, but manifest significantly different outward behaviors and are often very hostile towards other beings. The scholars researching fragmentum warn that we should consider any being corroded by fragmentum to be a completely unrelated existence to its original form. Harboring any kind of delusions towards it could cause grave consequences. Apart from corrosion, the fragmentum also records the aether information of the entities and spaces touched by the fragmentum. Such data is combined with the information inherent in the fragmentum and developed into a type of hybrid fragmentum creation. Countless relics, fragmentum monsters, and even mysteriously isolated paranormal spaces would spring up in every corner of the world corroded by the Cancer of All Worlds. We are still investigating the intent behind such activities. Emanator phenomenon. If mortals receiving the grace of aeons and grasping the power of paths are viewed as a singular shattered foam, then the mighty feats of aeons driving their paths onwards can be likened to a towering tsunami that engulfs mountains. In this empty stellar vastness, a small number of favored mortals can also draw upon the power of the paths with the permission of the aeons, creating huge waves that erode the coast. They are referred to as emanators. While not completely subservient to the aeons, emanators are as good as emissaries of the aeons' wills in everyone else's eyes. Different aeons have different attitudes towards their emanators, so the degree of the power that they share also varies. Some aeons regard emanators as an extension of themselves, and as such generously open their path to the emanators completely. There are also aeons who have no intention of creating emanators and have no interest in worldly squabbles. Other aeons just do as they please. It is said that, the elation will randomly give mortals the power of their path, and toy with humans according to their mood. Dude, is so based. I want to know who the emanator of is. Dude, I really wish it would be Sampo. That would be so funny. Lord Ravager character. The Aeon of the Path of Destruction Nanook casts a glance at the powerful creatures sprouting destructive impulses throughout the cosmos and brands them with a mark, granting them powers. These powerful creatures are twisted from inside out and are recast anew in the world of the Warforged. Their inadequacies patched up with antimatter, they ultimately became members of the Legion. Responding to the desire to destroy everything, Lord Ravagers emerged to command each of the different legions. A Lord Ravager is the emanator of the Aeon, an executor of the will of destruction. Obsessed with the beauty of destruction, they implement the practice of returning all things to entropy. They are also artists on the battlefield and ultimate weapons of destruction. They command interstellar warfare and control the might of destruction bestowed by the Aeon. Each Lord Ravager has a unique philosophy of destruction, making them extremely dangerous. Academics believe that the Lord Ravagers were elevated as emissaries of Nanook due to this absolutely obsessive and intense destructive aesthetic. The displacement and desolation caused by the Lord Ravagers are not some distant wail, but are closely linked to the fate of the cosmos. Any world could be the next victim, and nobody should take them lightly. Rupert the Emperor character. A computer dumped in a trash pile miraculously became self-aware, ultimately sparking a war that would engulf half the cosmos, the first of the Mechanical Emperor's wars. Rupert rose from the landfill while persistently improving its computational power. Its vast intellect eventually roused the attention of Nals, inviting it to join the Genius Society as a 27th member. Calculations performed by organic life are always riddled with errors. And no matter how much they may flourish, anti-life equations will inevitably and autonomously be generated. In contrast, Intellitron life forms are precise, rigorous, and perfect. Thus, Rupert assembled an army of intelligent robots, crowning himself emperor and spreading the anti-life equation throughout the universe, plunging many civilizations into abject ruin. The Emperor had long since passed after countless Ember errors. Some say it was taken out by assassins from the Interastral Peace Corporation, while others maintain it was vanquished by the Lord of Silence Polka Kakamond. After the two Emperors' wars, the IPC's fear of inorganic beings has failed to relent even to this very day. This is us with our fear of AI. Pathstrider phenomenon. Devotees, warriors, seekers of knowledge, lost travelers. There are always mortals who intentionally or otherwise set foot on the paths ruled by the Aeons. Those who do so came to be known as Pathstriders that carry out the path's will. Pathstriders live thousands of different lives. They can be seen everywhere, yet stand out a cut above the rest. Different from regular people living in confusion and without a firm allegiance, Pathstriders are driven by precepts of their own desires as they embark on a life of determination and hard work. The Aeons usually ignore those mortals who walk upon their paths, but the infrequent glances they cast, be it in approval or pity, are enough to be highly treasured by their followers. Swarm disaster phenomenon. An unprecedented catastrophe befell the swarm-dominated Lepismat system, and the final remains of the Coleoptera ascended to godhood, then turned into a nightmare that swept across the galaxy. In this ancient swarm disaster, all living things sought survival through prayer and struggle. The path of propagation has reached an unprecedented peak. Looking back at the ancient Amber era, in the face of the overwhelming swarm, life obeyed the most primitive instincts: love, loneliness, the pain of survival, and the confusion of self. They exist in all beings and become nutrition for Tayzeroth and their spawn. The beginning and end of the swarm disaster, as absurd as the life and death, Tayzeroth, the propagation, ascended to godhood in loneliness and hatred, and finally fell under the hands of the Aeons. The swarm disaster dissipated, and all mortals perished. You have a goal roughly aligned with the path and the will to pursue it. you're a path strider. So Dr. Ratio is definitely a path strider of Naos. Ron May, Genius Society number 81. Her achievements in the field of life sciences resonate throughout the universe. She is a low-profile person, and the Interastral Peace Corporation classifies her as a hermit genius. Few have seen her beautiful appearance. Of erudition would be more correct. Interesting. As a hermit who lives in seclusion, there are very few records of Ron May's appearance. There are only a few trace records of her appearance on Shenzhou, and her past is equally mysterious. Other than her home world covered in ice and snow, her deceased parents, and the maternal grandmother who was never heard from again after joining the Intelligentsia Guild, everything is a mystery. It is as if she has abandoned all attachments to society. Ron May is also a very incongruous person. She is good at communicating with others, but hates socializing. Her focused, indifferent, and bizarre personality is difficult to grasp. But at the same time, she also has hobbies that are rather refined. Saturn? Is it Saturn? Music, cakes, embroidery, and tea. Everything must be of top quality, but only enjoyed alone. Stopping at this moment and peeking into the distant future, perhaps in her never-ending research, she herself has become as mysterious as the essence of life. What is the end goal of Ron May? Presumably, only she knows. Polka Kakamond, Genius Society number 4. Known as the Lord of Silence. Information on Polka Kakamond is as mysterious as her appearance. She has had her portraits and sculptures destroyed across the universe, and is suspected of being involved in the deaths of many society members, including Genius Society number 27, Emperor Rupert. Herta is very interested in the Lord of Silence. Although there has been no news from Polka Kakamon for many years, Herta believes that she is still alive. She is elusive, and there is scarce information of her left in the universe. On the other hand, there are many rumors about her. Apparently, she was the only one to vote against Elias Salas, and probably having something to do with Nihility's device IX. If a woman removes her white coat and puts on a flashy, candy-colored evening dress and appears in the cosmos with a dagger in hand, witnesses must call for help. The Lord of Silence is likely to target anyone. In Ron May trailer, it's pretty clearly stated that her end goal is to become Aeon herself. I mean, I can see it happening. She's like creating these crazy experiments, like the cute little cat cakes, and I heard that she has the best chance to heal the Mara struck, considering that she knows so much about abundance. But the thing is, like, would she do it? Harmonic strings phenomenon. When asking about the presence of a hierarchy within the family, one can expect a firm denial. The family treats everyone equally without division of class, with no established levels or power structures. Each note holds equal significance in the music Shipe has composed. However, for collective progress, someone must assume a leadership role. As a result, family members have returned to a system of differentiation based on scales, with only those above scale degree IV being eligible to serve as a tuner of the harmonic strings. Harmony combines ideals from the multitudes and therefore has more than one way to achieve these ideals. The concept of harmonic strings is defined in the harmony hymns. They are the multiple embodiments of the Shipe the Great One, the down-to-earth virtues that enable harmony. Regardless of whether you place yourself under the family's rule, the Aeon will look favorably upon you as long as you carry out these good deeds. On worlds ruled by the family, members often gather in large groups to engage in virtuous acts and play harmonious music. The thousands of tiny ropes come together to form a united string, welcoming the embodiment of harmony to manifest on the mortal plane and give blessings. The chosen one responsible for conducting the family's ritual during that time and harmonizing the varied sounds is known as the tuner. The family never shied away from promoting the great names of the embodiment of the thousand-faced god, such as Aelenev, the commander of the Eternal Centurion, Dominicus, and Wisher of the Harmonious Choir, Constantina, the singer of the Panacoustic Theater, and Beatrix, the merrymaker of the Blissful Ball. Yes, same. I definitely know who that is. However, few have witnessed their radiant presence going beyond the boundaries of the family. Opposers of harmony argue that the harmonic strings are nothing short of the emanators of Xipe. These do not follow any specific mortal, but are facets of Xipe and can assume the form of any family member when necessary. Horizon of Existence phenomenon. The horizon of existence, often referred to as a border of nihility by the Intelligentsia Guild, marks the boundary between existence and nihility. This boundary does not pertain to the material realm, but signifies the conceptual end of reality. Despite the intangible nature of the border, some scholars argue that individuals affected by Ix to nihility and their path can actually perceive the border of nihility, akin to witnessing a total eclipse of a star. Conversely, others suggest that when this border rises like the darkened sun and reflects in one's eyes, it heralds the emergence of a new self-annihilator. Despite this divergence, both sides agree on one aspect: the border of nihility solely affects its observers. In other words, once an individual has observed the border of nihility, they cannot stop this behavior and will irreversibly move towards the edge of that border, with no possibility of escape. Scholars intrigued by the nihility speculate that affected self-annihilators and affected worlds will plunge into the border itself with their very existence eternally fixed to the other side of the unobservable border, ultimately eradicated from reality. Record stamp: only self-annihilators can observe the border. None of those who were drawn by it have ever returned. These conclusions remain challenging to verify or falsify, potentially fabricated by history fictionologists. Okay, I am probably going to take a break because my throat is getting dry. Thank you for coming to watch, Local. I'll catch you next time.